Hey, how's it going everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Dinosaur from the year 2000. This was a movie that I did not grow up with. I saw this movie for the first time whenever I just watched it, and it's one that I didn't even really know existed. I don't know if I had heard about this and then forgot about it or what, but no one really talks about this movie, so I figured maybe I hadn't heard about it. And either way, this was one that people didn't really like because it wasn't really talked about. I don't know if that's true at all, but that was just my assumption going into this movie. I saw that this movie existed only by scrolling on Disney Plus the past few months, but I didn't really have a big desire to go out and watch it anytime soon. But I am trying to get ahead a little bit so that I can do some more editing on gaming stuff and maybe start a TV show. And so I was looking through movies that didn't have a sequel that I could watch for the channel, and I was like, you know what, I'll give this one a shot. And before I go any further, I want to give a quick shout out to the spider that was on the wall when I was trying to watch this movie. This one's for you, buddy. If you've seen any of my other videos, chances are you know this, but after I watch something, whether it's a rewatch or whether I'm watching something for the first time, whether it's a movie or a TV show, I like to look up fun facts. I like to learn things about what I just watched, and there are some pretty interesting things that make Dinosaur stand out in sort of the history of film. Dinosaur is the first Disney animated movie to be computer generated. I know that Toy Story is the first computer generated movie and it's regarded as such, and Pixar is a Disney property, but at that time Pixar operated independently without Disney's oversight, and so Dinosaur is technically Disney's first computer animated movie because all the previous ones were hand-drawn. And it's also the sixth movie to be computer animated out of all movies all time. The animation in this movie is clearly dated. When you look at it, you can tell that it's still in the early stages. Maybe it looked really good in 2000. I don't know. I don't have any memories from the year 2000. So someone who saw this movie circa 2000 needs to let me know if this movie looked really great at the time or if it always felt a little bit off. But looking at this movie with hindsight, I imagine that it looked pretty good at the time. But then again, maybe I'm not really comparing it to things that came out around the turn of the century, so people who were actively watching movies at that time need to have final say. Regardless of how the movie looks, I liked the music in this movie. There were a few different points in the movie where the music really just elevated a scene, and that's what you want from music in a movie. But maybe that shouldn't really be a surprise because I can't think of any times when Disney has missed with their music. Although I did know this movie was computer animated, I was expecting it to be completely computer animated. I was not expecting there to be computer animation superimposed on top of real film. Having a lot of the backgrounds be real live action footage is a very interesting choice, and honestly that makes this movie stand out in my mind because I can't really think of any other example of this that I've seen. You can point to things like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but that's not exactly the same. This movie's kind of in its own category, in its own look and feel in that way. And I'm sure there are other things like that, but whatever they are, I just haven't seen them. Dinosaur was the most expensive movie to release in the year 2000, costing $128 million to make, which is over $200 million today when you account for inflation. And although this movie performed well, it just couldn't be considered a financial success. When you look at the box office numbers, it's nothing to turn your nose up at, but factoring in the movie's high budget, Dinosaur just can't be considered a monetary win for Disney. Overall, I had a fun time watching this movie, and I wasn't really expecting to. Again, I don't really know why my expectations for this movie were low. I don't know why they were what they were, other than the fact that this movie isn't really spoken about. And so I just figured that this movie didn't really have any fans and nobody really liked it. But I'll be the first to say that I enjoyed this movie. I think it was good. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a good movie. I think that its biggest downfall is that the animation looks dated, but if you can get past that, it's a fun movie, kind of Land Before Time vibes. So if that's something that sounds good to you, you should go check this movie out. But that's really all I've got to say about Dinosaur. I did not know this movie existed until I was scrolling Disney Plus. But if this is a movie that you've seen, let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. And if you haven't seen this movie, you should go check it out. If you didn't know this movie existed, now you know. If you want to help me out here on YouTube, liking this video, commenting on this video, subscribing to the channel, or checking out some of my other videos, all help me grow the YouTube channel. And yeah, until next time. Bye.